Hey everyone, this is Teresa from Base 10 Montessori, and today I just want to show you some of the materials that I ordered because I really wanted to try some of the products from Amazon, and I really wanted to see how they compare to official Montessori stores like Neen House, Alison's Montessori Outlet. And so I ordered these materials off of Amazon, and I ordered a metal inset holder, a little tray for that, and I went with a single instead of a double. I know double is really popular for the classroom, but for my needs and for what I like to do with the metal insets, I liked the idea of this single metal inset tray, and it arrived pretty nicely. It looks really good quality. So I like that, and I'm going to show you more of this when we get to our series on the development of the hand, because that's going to be more towards November and December when we start talking about those lessons. So I'll bring this back out towards the end of the year when we start doing those lessons. And I also ordered a paper holder box. It should hold a 5.5 by 5.5 square paper, so we'll see how that goes. And just to show you, this does fit the metal insets that I have, so it looks pretty standard. So I just want to show you that really quickly. So right here, I've got that metal inset. Let me move this aside and pull this down. So right here, you can see my metal inset fits pretty well. There's these grooves for picking it up, which I like. And then they can have 3 pencils. And I opted for this single tray over the double because when I do metal inset lessons, I find that it's easy for those lessons to get out of control. The kids who really love metal insets will go crazy on it. And I do like to kind of set limits. And the best way to set limits in your classroom is to prepare the environment carefully. And one thing you can do to prepare the environment carefully is pick materials that set limits. And so I liked the idea of one at a time. They can put their paper underneath of it first, you know, instead of carrying a bunch of paper. I wanted to make it just a little bit more inconvenient for them to bring a bunch of paper over to the table. So they could bring their paper over first, set it down, and come back and get the metal insets. You could have them make 2 trips, or you could have them take this out, put the paper down first, and then set the metal inset on top of them and take it over to their desk. So depending on how you want to do it, I kind of like that this sets a few more limits, or perhaps just offer more opportunities to get more activity in the classroom. Anytime you give them a chance to maybe walk back to the shelf an extra time or do a little bit more movement, I always think that that's really good. There are a few students that maybe it's not good for, but for 4-year-olds who are working on this, extra movement is always good. So far I like the looks of it. I'll be giving it a try, and by the time I get to my hand development series, we'll see how I'm liking it. And that brings me to the next 2 materials that I ordered, and this would have been ideal really when we started the grammar series, because I finally decided to order a grammar box, and I also decided to order these grammar symbols because sometimes when we are doing sentence analysis, we might want to draw the symbols above our sentence. I know that some teachers use the stencils, and so I did grab that. They're a little pricey for what they are. I thought they might be a little bit bigger to manipulate, so they're kind of small, so probably more ideal for elementary, but I wanted to check them out, see how they work, and I figured they might come in handy for myself. So I bought those stencils. Like I said, they look pretty good, they feel pretty sturdy, but I do think they are a little on the pricey side for what they are, and you could probably make do with Montessori Print Shop just fine. I'm a little unsure of whether or not that's worth the money, but it seems fine. It seems good quality, so I can't complain about that. And then this is the grammar box. And by the way, I'm going to put links to all these things down below in the comment section with my Amazon affiliate links. And so you can check out the prices. You can shop around and see if you can find a better price and compare the different customer ratings. So I think this was Amazing Child, but my grammar box is from Elite Montessori that has a ton of different materials on Amazon. So this is one of the more popular brands on Amazon to shop from, so I really wanted to see what their quality is like. So let's open this up and take a look at the grammar box that I bought. So it came very well packaged. This was well packaged inside of another box. So I was very happy with the packaging. Seemed like it was pretty safe. And as you can see, it has a plastic wrap around it. So I'm going to take that off real quick. All right, so that plastic wrap is off. And let's take this out. So these are really big. So this is a really, really big conjunction symbol. That's bigger than the ones that I use in the classroom. It's not bad for children who might have trouble grabbing the smaller ones. Some of these, so this is an elementary box. I did not have one for primary, but it's fine if you order an elementary one. We're just going to take out the ones that we don't use for primary. Now this is the one thing I was really wondering about, and I think these are different colors, but it's really hard to tell. These should be orange and these should be red. So adverb, verb, right? And there is a slight difference in color, but I don't like the fact that it's not a big difference. So that I'm going to criticize right now as something I don't like. These should be much more orange, and it should be much more contrasting to the red. But they are different sizes, so the point will get across. So we've got the preposition. Again, these are really big, and I think that's fine. We have got, now again, this is a elementary box. So right here, this is the adjective, and in here we have two different size triangles. You're going to want to take out the bigger size triangles. In primary, we don't use the bigger triangles. We're just going to use the smaller ones. So you want to separate that out. Again, that's an elementary thing, not a primary thing. And if I get those elementary lessons like I want to, I'll be able to go further with this grammar box, so that will be great. For primary, we only want to use these small ones, not these bigger ones. You'll need to take out some of them that you're not going to use in primary. And like I said, I'm a little disappointed in the color of these, but there is enough of a difference that I think it'll be fine. And like I said, they are smaller. And so I think this is definitely doable from Amazon. Now, I do think that the outlets probably are better quality. I haven't ordered from Alison's. I haven't ordered a grammar box from Alison, so I have not reviewed it. But I'll go back and take a look on my computer and see what Alison's looks like for comparison. So that way you know, do you really want to order through Amazon? Is it worth it? Is it cheaper and more convenient that you would want to use Amazon? Or are you really going to be fussy and want to use something like Montessori Print Shop or something like Alison's outlet? So those are the things to consider. I definitely think that these are usable. It definitely looks nice. They're definitely really, really big compared to the ones I'm used to using. So I don't know if I love how big they are. That can be a little bit challenging when we're getting into phrases and sentences because they're not going to fit well on top of the words. So I'm a little hesitant about that. So that's just something to keep in mind. And again, I'm going to go back and compare it to what it would look like if I ordered from someplace like Alison's, and that way you have an official comparison. So before we end this video, let me get back on my computer and take a look at what Alison's offers and kind of see if it looks like a better quality, and that way you have a better comparison between the two. Okay, so here we are on Alison's, and this is going to be pretty similar to Montessori Outlet, but I had a really bad experience with Montessori Outlet last time, so I'm not eager to recommend them. However, maybe they've changed in the last few years, and maybe they are a little bit better. But let's just take a look at Alison's Montessori because they're pretty affordable. And as you can see, for $31, that's about the price I bought the wooden one on Amazon. So for $31, they have paper grammar symbols. So this is all paper right here. If I was going to buy paper, I think I'd rather go to Montessori Print Shop and spend a couple dollars and just make all of my own. So I don't really like this idea, but if you do, I totally understand. This is about the price I paid for the wooden one on Amazon. And if you shop for a better deal, maybe around Thanksgiving, maybe you'll get an even better price than what I got it for. So let's take a look at the plastic grammar symbols, which I don't use plastic grammar symbols in my primary classroom. So I don't love that idea either. I like the wooden. So I feel like this would be more for elementary. And if you take a look, this is $67. So now we've doubled our price and we have plastic. So let's take a look at that. The orange, you see how the orange looks very orange compared to the red? That's what it should look like, right? And so everything else looks the same size-wise. It's hard for me to tell if they're bigger or smaller. And this one says $57.75. I didn't see the regular quality. This one's the premium. There should be a regular quality one. And as you can see, the light blue, dark blue, orange, red. Again, we're not going to use the purple. That's elementary. Those are the elementary lessons right here. Those are elementary lessons. Let me do one more search. All right, so this time I just did grammar symbols. Okay, wooden grammar symbols. This should be the regular quality. That is $33. This is the value line. So that's not too much more than what I paid on Amazon, so that's not bad. It's just sometimes you can't always get free shipping with Allison's, right? The convenience of going through Allison's is different than Amazon, so that's something to consider. Let's get a better look here. So we have a better color in the orange. And again, it's hard for me to tell the size. So size, I'm not sure. Maybe they have a listing somewhere that shows it. So all in all, I think I do like the Allison's better. It's not that much more expensive than Amazon. Again, there are more expensive options. I would steer clear of the paper. I would do something cheaper, but again, that's totally up to everybody. It seems like a lot to pay for paper. You're basically paying for the wooden box, right? So, you know, I'm a little bit torn. Part of me kind of wants to return the Amazon and maybe wait for an Allison's. I might return the Amazon one and get the Allison's if I can get free shipping. That's kind of the thing, isn't it? That's what makes it expensive. Mainly because I really don't like the fact that the Amazon one isn't the correct color of orange. And I had read that in the comment section. I had read that the orange and the red were too close to the same color, but I had also read that they had corrected that. Apparently, if they did correct it, I did not get a box that had that correction. It's still too close to the same color. So that I don't like, and I don't like the size, but it's hard for me to tell whether or not this is smaller. So I'm going to decide whether or not I really like the Amazon one, and I can post an update for you guys and let you know what I decide. So I would say the Elite Montessori grammar symbol box to me is adequate, but not great. It certainly would work if you are looking to buy through Amazon. But if you go with the value line on Allison's and you can find a free shipping code somewhere, that might be a better choice. They might be more accurate in what we're looking for. So with that being said, that's all I have for you today. If you like this video, don't forget to press that like button, like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.